Hey, Tony Gaskins here. I wanted to pop in and answer these questions. I was getting a question a lot last night about why do men play games? Why do men lie? Why do men do this and that? And I kind of want to take you through how men date. And this is important to understand, especially for women, because we kind of have to start to create a level playing field. And this is different. Now, you have some women, you have a handful of women. I deal with women in coaching all the time. So as a coach, I get to hear the real, the raw. And majority of women are uncomfortable talking to more than one guy at a time. Majority of women, if they find a guy and they go on a date with him and they like him, they kind of want to lock in and focus on that one guy. That is not the case with men. With a man, all of the pressure is on a man because the man has to do the choosing. So, and you may say, oh, well, a woman chooses too, but not in the same way. The man has to go out and find a wife, just like the Bible said, he who finds a wife. A man who finds a wife finds a good thing. So the man, it's his job to go and do the choosing. So there's actually more pressure on doing the choosing than being chosen. Because with being chosen, all you got to do is just be you, be at your best, and the man for you is going to approach you. Women are not taught to go up and approach the man you want. That is not smart. Because a man sees every woman, and if he doesn't approach you, there's a reason why he doesn't approach you. So if a woman goes and approaches a man, she's disrupting the natural order of things and she's setting herself up for failure. Now, sometimes it may work out, but people live through Russian roulette. So that's not anything to base it on just because you know a woman who approached her man and now they've been married 20 years. That man might like men's. You don't know that. You see what I'm saying? So what you have to realize is men are the pursuers. Men do the choosing. A man has to get on one knee and say, will you marry me? So because of that, there is a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety within men. And to be honest with you, it's like he's shooting in the dark. He has no clue what he's doing. He has no clue what he's looking for, who he's looking for. Most guys cannot articulate what they want in a wife. That's why I tell women, look, just be a decent person. Just be a good person. It's not about, this, and that. Just be a good human being. Because he does not know what he's looking for. So it's not about, oh, you got to use this type of vocabulary and you can only wear these type of colors and you got to walk at this speed and you got to hold your head at this angle. It's have a good heart, be kind, be humble, be nice, be honest, just be a good person, because the guy does not know. And so the reason that he does not know is kind of like when you go to a food festival, you go out to the festival and you want to get a little small bite of everything. And you might get a small bite of all 5 different things. And then for your big lunch or your dinner later on, you're going to choose that one that you like the most. That's kind of what a guy's doing. He will talk to most men who are able. And I'm going to tell you now, every man is able. That's just one thing I have not really seen is a man who is not able. If a man want to talk to a woman, he able. He able. I done seen men in all kind of situations. It is homeless men that's juggling women. That juggling some of the homeless women. It's men in all situations. It's men locked up behind bars juggling women. Not even in the free world. He getting handed women by the other inmates. Say, hey man, my sister, she's single. She looking for somebody to talk to. You a cool dude. Want to know if I could connect y'all. This man behind bars and juggling women. So understand this. Men have plenty of options. It might not be the same for women. So most men, what he's going to do is he going to have 3 to 4 women at all times. At the least 2. At the least 2 options. But on average, it's going to be 3 to 4. It's going to be 3 to 4 women. Now, you're going to have some men that will go into the 5 to 7 range. He crazy. Okay? The guy who go into the 5 to 7 range, he crazy. But you won't know that. You will not know that. So this is why I tell you, the way a man is going to date is he going to have you all on a schedule. So that's why that good morning, beautiful, it don't mean anything. Because it take this long. There go 1. There go 2. There go 3. Just like that. He could text all 3 of y'all in less than 30 seconds. Good morning, beautiful. And women be, oh my goodness, he texts me good morning, beautiful. Oh, no, he got a routine. That don't mean a thing. He got a routine. He got to keep his game tight. So at the same time, you could be his only one and you getting a good morning, beautiful. So, but you won't know right away. That's why you got to pay attention. So what this man is going to do is he going to space you out. So he going to talk to you. You may have a time that he talks to you. Your time may be noon. Your time may be 4 p.m. It may be 8 p.m. But he going to have a time every day that he kind of stick to that time. And you're going to be in that same time slot. When you stay in a very similar time, that's when you know you one of many. Now, when you get an hour conversation on the way to work at 7 a.m., 30 minutes, 15 minutes at lunch, 12, something at 4, something at 7 p.m., something 9 or 10 p.m., when your days are different and you getting different times on different days, and you all over the place with the time that he gives you, that's more so when he's starting to zone in on just you. But the way things work is, see, a lot of women feel like a man who calls her every day and wants to talk to her for an hour or 2 on the phone every day, a lot of women say that's creepy. And the reason why women say that's creepy instead of normal is because women are so accustomed to a guy calling you Monday and Tuesday and you don't get a call on Wednesday. Or a guy calling you Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So women so used to a guy missing a day here, 2 days there, that when a guy want to talk every single day, it's like, ugh. You don't have anything to do? Like, ugh, what's wrong with you? Oh, creep. And so what's happening is men start to realize, okay, if I don't call her every day, if I'm not calling her every day and she's still picking up the phone, and when we talk, she sounds so giddy, she's so happy that I call her, then wow, this is the way to go. So what a man starts to realize is he starts to realize this is a law of power. That when he takes and he creates scarcity, he creates some distance, he increases the supply and demand. You got a demand for his call. You want to hear his voice, but he ain't really supplying it, all the time. So that makes you crave it more. So when he calls you on Monday, and then he doesn't call you on Tuesday, then he calls you on Wednesday. On Monday, you got an hour. On Wednesday, you got half an hour. That creates scarcity. So you think about him all Tuesday. Then you think about him the rest of Wednesday. Then you think about him on Thursday. Then what you do is, because you just getting him in little bits and pieces, you call your homegirl and you talking to her about him. Then you may book a session with me. You talking to me about him. So now you spending money. You investing to talk about this man who is not consistent. And so now, because you're thinking about him more and more, if you don't talk to somebody who know what they talking about, you're going to continue to fall for them. Now, if you end up talking to me, I'm going to tell you, a man that's about you, a man that's you his main, like you the one, he calling you every day. And as many breaks as he get in the day, he calling you. And see, this what the thing is. Every man could have his celebrity. So you got to picture like Beyonce. You got to picture Beyonce and you try to imagine what kind of energy would a man be giving Beyonce if she was single on the market and giving him a chance? What would he be doing? She would get a good morning text. If she could talk on the way to work, if she had to drive to her office, he would be on the phone with her. At lunch, he texting her. Right when she get off from work, he texting her. Right when he get off, he texting her. He calling her to talk to her on the way home. They on FaceTime cooking dinner together. He trying to set up a date, either to go out or to come over. Then he want to FaceTime an hour, 2 hours. Every Friday, she on a schedule. Every Friday, the flowers getting delivered. Every Friday, flowers coming. Flower Friday. Then every other week, getting a for nothing gift. Might be $100, might be $500. Getting a for nothing gift on Thursday. He doing handwritten letters. He putting letters in the mail. You see what I'm saying? A man will do that same. He'll have that same energy when he is focused on one woman. He'll have that same kind of energy. Now it might not be all of that, cause see, I'm a romantic. You know, I got an email yesterday from Chanel. You know, the Chanel brand, and I ordered my wife, you know, some for nothing gifts. Just little stuff, you know, like little face cream, little lip gloss, you know, I think it was $270. So it's not like, okay, you ain't breaking the bank, but it's enough to be thoughtful. So when it come in the mail, it ain't coming for nothing. Not for a birthday, not for a holiday anniversary. And I do that every week. I order something. Might be $100, might be $200. It's an investment, but that's the queen. You see what I mean? So that's a man. It might not be on the level that I explained, but it's going to be real close to it. And his money might not be there now. So if he can't do for nothing gifts, you know, $100 every week, because that's $400 a month, you know, every 2 weeks, then he going to come up with something else. That's when the handwritten letter come in. That's when he writing a poem and he going to read the poem. That's when he trying to be romantic. That's what you're going to feel when a man is interested. You're going to be like, wow, this dude sweep me off my feet. Now, this where y'all get caught up talking about a love bomb, okay? That's not the same thing. Because that love bomb, what do a bomb do? It blows up. So you're going to see this short fuse on this man. You're going to see his attitude. You're going to see his insecurity. Yeah, he doing all this stuff, but you're going to see that short fuse, and then he going to explode one day. And it's going to be inside of 3 to 6 months. And that's when you're going to know this the love bomber. Okay, this not the genuine man. The genuine man, he going to be cool, calm, and collected. If a man dating Beyonce, she's not going to see an attitude inside of a year. He going to wait to where he all the way in there. He going to wait to where she got a soul tie. He got that soul tie around her like this here. You hear me? He got that soul tie. That's when she going to get an attitude. When that soul tie that tight. You hear me? Until that soul tie get there, he the sweetest, most charmingest, amazingest man in the world. So that's what you got to understand. So when you meet this man, now here's the thing. I'll tell you like my daddy told me. Daddy used to always tell me, he said, son, listen, man, when I tell you something about your friend or about your girlfriend, that's for you. I'm trying to help you. Stop running to your friend, telling your friend, my daddy said he don't trust you. He said he think you steal. And that's what I would do. He said, son, that's for you. Now, he was never wrong. My daddy was never wrong. whatever he said. So I started to get to the point to say, okay, this for me to know, for me to keep my eyes open. That's what I'm telling you. This for you to know. Don't go up to the man that you dating and be like, well, yes, I was listening to this guy named Tony Gaskins on YouTube, and he said that all men have like 3 to 4 women at all time. Is that true? And this what a lot of y'all will do. And then you expect the man to be like, oh, Tony Gaskins, oh, what a great guy. Yeah, that's an amazing guy. Like, hey, I'm gonna tell you this. Anything that guy says, that is 100% the truth. You definitely need to believe him. I mean, that guy has never been wrong. You think he gonna tell you that? So this is how women play themselves. You got the knowledge. You know what you're looking for. But a woman will go and take it to the man and say, so are you dating other women and not telling me? And then he'll be like, no, of course not. What do I look like? Some type of idiot? Like, I'm not a player. If I'm with you, I'm with you. That's it. And then the woman like, oh, okay. So it's like, what did you expect him to tell you? Oh yeah, of course. You're one of 4. You're the Monday girl, duh. Then I got a Tuesday. I'll give you a little bit of Wednesday. Then I got a Thursday. Then I got a Friday. That is why I talk to you an hour on Monday. That's your exclusive day. And that's why I talk to you 15 minutes every other day, because I got to get at the other women. Duh. He's not going to tell you that. So this is what you got to know and understand. That he talking to you, and he might talk to you. See, when a man juggling, he's not going to give a whole hour. Only way he's not going to give you a whole hour every day. You might get 30 minutes. And then he called the other woman, he get her 30 minutes. And then he got the other woman or the other 2 women, they cool with text messages. There are women who have wrote me in the Q&A on Instagram and on email and said, hey Tony, I've been talking to this guy for 3 months, but we've never been on the phone. We only text. See, that's what you got to understand. There's a woman that gets an hour phone call. It's a woman that gets a 30-minute phone call. It's a woman that gets a 15-minute phone call. It's a woman who only get text messages. It's a woman who get 1 text a day. It's a woman who get 10 texts a day. It's a woman who get 3 texts a day. I'm not saying he got all of these women, but what I'm saying is when he starts talking to a woman, you go into one of them categories, depending on what he feels you bring to the table. There's a woman that does not get phone calls. She get FaceTime calls. Every call is a FaceTime call. He thinks she is absolutely gorgeous. He thinks she's beautiful, and he wants her. But guess what? Even though he wants her, he still won't put all his eggs in one basket. So let's say, it's like a woman that's hot on the market with the guys right now, like a Lori Harvey. If it's somebody like that, she get put on the FaceTime list. He only FaceTiming her. But then he gonna have another woman though that he 30-minute phone call, because he trying to FaceTime an hour to 2 with this woman over here. So this other woman, if he could get this kind of woman that get only FaceTime, then that means he got enough game or enough swagger or enough money to have another looker. So he gonna give her 30 minutes. Then if he could get that one woman, that FaceTime woman, that means he got enough game, enough whatever for 3-4 women. So he got a 30-minute woman that's phone call. Or it might be 1 hour FaceTime with this woman, 30-minute FaceTime with this woman. Now, right now, the women in here, the women listen to this, you exhausted. You exhausted. You like, whew. Oh my goodness, I am tired. Are you kidding me? A man doing all that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He got time. He got the time. He got the time, because guess what? That's a man's whole life. That's a man's whole life. A man don't think about much outside of a woman. A woman gonna take up 80 to 90% of a man's thoughts. Oh yeah, cause that's how he wired. He's wired to be fruitful and replenish the earth. That's the strongest urge in him, because had that not been put in the mind of a man, the human race would have ceased to exist thousands of years ago, because men would have just been focused on money and not sleeping around, not sleeping with a woman. They would just been focused on money. And women are so complex and so hard to understand that had it not been for the strength of that urge to sleep with a woman, men would a long time ago gave up on women, because it is really stressful and it's really hard to understand a woman. It's so many nuances to a woman that, like, when I look at men, I see two types of species. I see two types of men. When I look at women, I see 1,000 types of women. I literally see two types of men, a grown boy and a grown man. But I see 1,000 different strands, brands of women. That's why I don't talk about. That's why I don't try to answer questions about women. It is extremely complex, and I'm now in the matrix. So I'm reading over 40,000 comments on YouTube alone a month from women. Out of them 40,000 comments, it's probably 100 from men. So I'm seeing all the different brain types of women. And listen to me, there's some scary stuff out there. It's some scary stuff. And it's like, so I read some comments from women and I'm like, did they just bang her head against the wall when she was little? Like, it be some strange commenters. And I just be like, wow. Did what y'all got to deal with, single fellas out here? I said, well, I thank God I found my wife before social media, before reality TV took off, before, whoo. I'm telling you, today, trying to find a wife is stressful. It's stressful for these men. So that is why, more so than ever, men today, they juggling multiple women, because this is what you got to realize. This man, he is wired and he raised to believe that a man is the pursuer, a man is the provider, a man is the protector. All of those things are true. But guess what? With them 3 P's come another P. And that's pressure. Because it is pressure to provide. Like, my sons go to private school. That costs just in tuition alone $30,000 a year. I want them in private school because it's smaller classes, and it's just the kids are typically coming from a better household, so that they not doing it's not really bullying going on. But you got to realize that the public school, God bless you if you there, and God bless you if you believe in it. Do you? I went to public school. Do you? But if I was you, I'd be trying to go to the Christian school if you Christian and get on financial aid. Because when we got into our school, we got on financial aid. It was a little bit of money that we was paying per month, and we built up to where now we pay full tuition. But as a man, that's what a man want. He want his child to be in the best learning environment. He don't want him to be in there with this kid who smoking at 11 because his daddy been locked up since he was born, and his mama too worried about getting a boyfriend, so he raising himself. So I remember talking to a guy. He said the guy told me he learned how to cook crack at 11 years old. I don't want my son in the same classroom with him, because they might go in a home economics class and supposed to be baking cookies, and this guy baking another kind of cookie and teaching my son how to cook a different kind of, okay? And so as a provider, I want the best situation. My son want to play soccer. I want to be able to take him to Europe. We was in Europe in a camp for 2 weeks in Italy. That cost just to get over there was $11,000. And so that costs. Now imagine spending 30 on tuition and then 11. So guess what? A lot of times women don't understand this, but this is kind of pressure that good men putting on themselves, because they like, look, I don't want my family just to survive. I want my family to thrive. So what happens is you'll find even a good man is scared to death to choose his woman. And so when I met my wife, I had a girlfriend. I had to lead. Now, I was 21, so let's keep that in mind, okay? But what I was doing was very normal. But for a woman to go through the process with a man and to hear that, it's mind-boggling, and women are shocked and appalled. So you might can't handle the truth. If you can't handle the truth, just, okay, just bow this one out. Just be quiet. Just drink you some water. Just get you some water and just rest, okay? Just rest. Put your ice pack on your head. But this how men date. This was every man. I had a girlfriend. I hadn't been with her for 2 years. I knew I did not. We was engaged. I had her name tattooed on me. I did not love her. One woman gonna comment, Tony, you had to love her, because ain't no man in the world gonna get a tattoo of a woman's name if he don't love her. That's how little women know about men. A man will do anything to sell it. If it was a rule that you got to cut off your right foot to sleep with a woman, every man will have 1 foot. Every man will have 1 foot, or he'll be gay. But majority of the men, 80% of them, at the least 60% will have 1 foot. Point blank period. You don't believe it? I'm here to tell you. A man will do anything for a woman. Men go to the furthest extent to impress a woman. I had a girlfriend, had been with her 2 years. It was toxic. It was draining. Life separated us. Destiny. You know, I got kicked out of college off my football team, and she transferred to another school that she wanted to get into. So we end up in 2 different states. That gave me the time and the space and the room to start looking for her replacement. This real and raw. Don't judge me for my transparency, because your dad ain't tell you this. He ain't tell you how he chose your mama. So don't get mad at me for giving you some transparency here now, okay? And so here I was 21 years old. I was looking for my wife. And I started looking for her replacement, because it was a toxic relationship. I didn't want to be in that toxic relationship. I want love. I want love to be peaceful. Even though I was part of the reason causing it, I really felt like a lot of my actions were reactionary. I felt like she was triggering me and she was pushing buttons on purpose. And I remember talking to my sister, and my sister said, hey, your girlfriend told me she loved to make you mad, that she loved to see you angry. When my sister told me that, and this is a problem with a lot of women, they talk too much to the sister. That man family is not on your side. You go telling all your business to his sister, to his mama, they finna tell him. They not on your side. Y'all ain't sisters. Y'all think y'all in the woman's club. Them women don't care nothing about you. My sister and my mama ain't never cared a dime, a iota about no woman I talked to, including my wife. When I met my wife, they were trying to sell her out and pinpoint and look for flaws and holes in her too, and had stuff to say about her too. They not on your side. When you trying to be besties with his mama and his sister think they like you, them women stab you right in your back for their son, for her son, or for their brother. You best to believe it. And so when my sister told me that, I definitely started looking. And I met my wife. When I met my wife, the first time we talked, after we sat down and we talked 6 hours, I called my girlfriend and said, hey, we done. We done. And that's what happened a lot of times. That's why I tell y'all, don't ever be with a man longer than a year unless y'all get engaged. Me and this woman, we got engaged. Girl, we were young. Woman, we got engaged, but it wasn't real. And come that 2-year mark, hey, it's time to get married. So a man is either going to marry you or he looking for your replacement. Point blank period. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. He's going to marry you or he's looking for your replacement. And so guess what? I'm looking around. I'm dealing around. I had met this one girl over here, Spanish. Met this one woman over here, girl over here, she black. The Spanish was about my age. The black girl was younger. Did not know. Found out that she was 17. Had to cut her off immediately. Hadn't done nothing, hadn't done anything like that, had met her in the mall. Then she gonna tell me she's 17. Got to go. Got to go. Okay, so that's out the window. Met another young lady at a little hangout spot, like a little bar type situation for college students. Now she was probably about one Snicker bar away from being a little too much that I could handle. Cause I was 170 pounds, and so she probably was 170, but was shorter a few inches, and it was all in the right place at the right time. But again, she probably 19, 20, so I'm like, okay, I don't know if I'm gonna be strong enough to do what I want to do, if we get all the way together. So that was that. Met another young lady, was 10 years older than me, worked at the college that I was going to. She didn't shave her legs though, and she was real slim. So you see, it's people I was meeting, it's women I was meeting, and I'm evaluating. Then I met my wife. So at first, I'm talking to everybody, but then one by one, I'm cutting them off one by one. So when you meet a man, you always gonna be like one of three. But then he could have met y'all simultaneously. He could have met her on Monday, met her on Tuesday, met you on Wednesday. It ain't that he been with this person. Now when I cut my ex-girlfriend off, when I cut her off, I cut off for good. I was tired, I was drained, I was done with that. But see, a man always goes right to another replacement. Men, it's a lot of women who's single and been single, but 9 out of 10 men gonna be, unless he goes through a traumatic experience, 9 out of 10 men going immediately to another replacement. Immediately. From if y'all break up on Tuesday, he got another woman on Wednesday. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. Because men cannot be alone. And when I say this, I'm saying on average. There are exceptions to the rules. It's a handful of men that could be alone, meaning abstinent and alone. If he's still sleeping around, he's not alone. He got friends with benefits, then women still taking up that, energy in his life. So what you have to realize is a man is evaluating every single thing, because in a man's mind, his whole life depends on this choice. His whole life depends on it. And he also thinking about, okay, if I have wealth, I could lose half of it if I choose wrong. If I don't have wealth, I plan to build wealth with this woman, and I could lose half of it if I choose wrong. If I choose wrong, my children could be a disaster. They could look a mess. They could act a mess. They could have a horrible influence of a mother. If I become successful as I want to be, they really gonna be leaning on her a lot, and they're gonna be dependent on her. And if I choose wrong, she could be thumping them in the head. They could be missing meals. She feeding them bread and baked beans instead of cooking some or getting them something that's substantial, that got a little extra flavor to it, knowing that we could provide. But she just so worried about Botox and a butt lift and a tanning bed, or a shopping bag. So he's going through all of this, and he looking at every woman, and he's trying to see who's pretentious. Okay, I don't fully know what that word means, but it sounds good right there. So he's trying to see who's pretentious. He's trying to see who is, snobby, arrogant, who is rude, who curse like a sailor, who drink like a fish, who smoke like a chimney. So for me, and the women that I had met, none of them drank like a fish or smoke like a chimney or curse like a sailor. So it really came down to just preferences. It came down to age, to height, to weight, to the numbers, the preferences, which I was 21. So I didn't know at that time the difference between preferences and standards. I didn't have a teacher like myself teaching me about this stuff. And so I'm just kind of looking and judging as your everyday young 21-year-old. And every other man was doing the same. So this one young lady, she was too tall. She was taller than me. The other young lady, she was super skinny. The other young lady, she was a little bit, almost too voluptuous for me. This other one, she was too young, so she got nixed out. Her height and shape and all that was perfect, but she wasn't 18 yet. She was 17. Got to go. So had one conversation, and that's how some women are. They'll be 17, they'll lie and say they're 18, and then later come out and say they're 17. Or they'll be like 17, and most guys will go ahead and talk to them. Like what you see, what they talking about, Russell Simmons with Kamora Lee Simmons saying that he was dating underage. What you seen with, R. Kelly. But see, it's a lot of that going on. What we are we penalizing R. Kelly, but that he was doing what he see. He saw that happen all the time. Men do that all the time. And women, a lot of women know that's the truth because they had a grown man when they were 16, 15, 17. Some women 10, 11, 12 had a grown man touch them. So a lot of women know that's true. But for me, I don't play with it. No sirree, Bob, I don't play with it. Gotta go. And so it's different things that cut different people off. The one that was voluptuous, it wasn't too bad, but she had too much mouth on her. She liked to argue and debate. And I could tell her ex-boyfriend was petty. And he would argue and debate with her and give her that power. Me, I'm not arguing and debating with nobody. You hear me? I ain't got the time. The other young lady, she was older than me, and she was, decent looking, but she didn't shave her legs. I really was looking for a woman who really treat her body pristine like a queen. Like you in preparation to be presented to a king, and that's how you treat yourself. So I was used to shave legs. At that time, I was shaving my legs as a man. Now that ain't nothing sweet. It's just that as an athlete, baseball players shave their arms, football players, some shave their arms. I ain't shave my arms, but we shave our legs because you want a little faster, you want a little stronger, so you want your calf muscle to be more defined. Just like bodybuilders shave their whole body because you want to be able to see them rips and them cuts. And I was cut up. You hear me? I looked like a Greek sculpture at that time. I don't look like that no more. Okay, I look like somebody else's sculpture. But here it was. I'm going through my process of elimination. And this is how 9 out of 10 men date. 10 out of 10 if he got an option. The only men that don't date like this is a man who just don't have an option. He just don't have an option. But every other man, he has a roster of choices that he trying to decide from, and he's going through his own process of elimination. And that's why I tell women, you cannot worry about if a man don't choose you, if a man don't want to be with you, if a man move on you. It literally could be because your eyes set too far apart. It literally depends on his age, his maturity level. It literally could be because you 5 or 10 pounds too light, or you 5 or 2 pounds too heavy, or you too tall, or you too short. It literally could be anything that you don't have control over sometimes. So a lady got blocked yesterday because she trying to call me a double standard because she talking about, so women can't have height as a standard, but men could have weight as a standard. For one, neither one of those are standards. I never said that. Those preferences. For two, I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that's what it is. 3, a man cannot control his height, but a person can control their weight. So weight is something that's in our control. Height is out of our control. We can't go to the gym and get taller. We can't go to the gym and get shorter. But we can go to the gym and put on some muscle or burn some fat. That's in our control. So when you are judged by a potential suitor based on something that's in your control. Like if you don't shave your legs, if you don't keep your hair done, if you don't keep your nails done, if you're not doing the best you can with your body. So it don't matter where your body is at. Listen to what I'm saying. It don't matter where your body is at if you're doing the best that you can. If you eating Sundays and Big Macs and not going to the gym, now it matters where your body is at. If you go to the gym 3 times a week and you eat as healthy as you can within reason, wherever you land on that scale, the man gonna realize that's you, that's the best of you, and either he likes that or he doesn't. But that's not your concern, because you know you at your best and you loving yourself to the best of your ability, male and female, man and woman. But a lot of time we not doing what we can be doing, and we making excuses for why we not doing it. And we want certain results, we want certain things, but we don't want to do what it takes to get those things. So a man say, I want this type of woman, but to get that type of woman, you got to stop smoking weed. So you can't be smoking weed, smoking like no chimney, and saying you want you a classy woman. A classy woman don't want no man that smoke weed. You see what I'm saying? So it's choices, decisions, and consequences out here. Now this video going a little long. So what you have to realize is that's why you have to be at your best when you dating a man and you saying you want a husband. You just got to be putting your best foot forward, taking care of you, loving you. And you got to have the same standard that you have for yourself, for your life. You got to have that for the person that you dating. What I mean by that, if you take yourself seriously and you feed mind, body, and spirit, the person you date, you need to make sure they feed mind, body, and spirit. Because see, what happened is a lot of times a woman will come in with her best foot forward and she'll deal with a man who's not putting his best foot forward. So now you make yourself an option, because he sees that you on another level than him, that you higher than him, that you living better than him. And the fact that you entertaining him, it makes him lose respect for you, because you have all the outward, but you don't have the inward. You don't have the mindset. You don't know who you are. You don't know your worth. So if you don't know your worth, he's not going to give you your value. If you don't know your value, he's not going to give you what you're worth. So if you come in and he see you and you look like 100,000, but you act like 30,000, he gonna give you 30,000, and that's what you. And then he gonna give you 30,000, and then he gonna find 2 more just like you. So now he got 3 for less than the cost of 1. And I'm just using money as an example, but understand what I'm saying with that. So now he get 3 women. That's 30. Each woman could be 100, but they don't know their worth. Then on the flip side, he dealing with women who 30 but think they're 100. So now he got to shoot himself in the foot, because he like, well, what in the world? I got the good woman who doesn't know her worth, so she won't stand her ground. She won't respect herself. She let me run over her. And then I got this woman over here who ain't worth nothing, but thinks she Princess Monica, the Markel, what the lady name, and what in the world is going on? So now he's stuck in the rat race, and now he's stuck trying to choose. And I've seen this before. It was talking about it was a comedian / personality. So this his words, but he said, why does the most beautiful women have the lowest self-esteem, and then the most unattractive women have the most confidence? And essentially what he was saying is, he kind of going back to grade school, to where now the way I'm talking about this stuff, some of this stuff hurt. But it's just I'm giving to you blood raw. Okay, it's just real out in the field. But you remember in grade school, to where you'll have this woman who, this girl, maybe when you 6th, 7th, 8th grade, you might have a girl, she built like this, and she is the loudest in the school. She the loudest in the school. Hey, Monica, come here, girl. Hey, come here. What you doing? Yeah, yeah. And then you'll have this other girl, she built like this. And she just walking around. Yeah, man. And that's what that saying is about. But see, what is happening is, what a lot of people don't take into consideration is this one right here may have been attacked and violated because she falls inside of Hollywood's definition of beauty. So before she could fend for herself, there were men who were taking advantage, and it broke her spirit and it confused her mind. Whereas this woman, she could have gone through the same thing and let it make her tough or angry or a monster, or she could have not been bothered or violated or touched at all and allowed to flourish in her confidence. Cause see, this girl over here, she come in a place to where it could be a lot of love. It could actually be some money, because in order to get like that, you have to be being fed. So some parents, they just feed their children, feed them, and it's like, leave me alone, get out of my face. And some of y'all parents doing it right now. My wife, she very conscious about that. She very conscious about that, and she pay attention to that, to other moms and dads and how much they feed their children. And sometimes it's just like you feed them, and a person has this relationship with food that when they're crying, they start to eat. When they're hurting, they want to eat. When they're scared, they want to eat. And it ruins their health from a young age. And it may be because their mother does the same thing. She eats out of, anxiety or fear or worry or loneliness. And so it's a parent's job to see that and see what's going on, and to say, hey, this is a normal meal. Eat this meal. When you're done, go on about your business. Some women will go through body shaming. And so just this topic and conversation, men are visual creatures. So a man is not looking within. He's not looking into the heart of a woman. He's not trying to look into how was she raised. Why is she this type of build? How did that happen? Was it some type of trauma, anxiety? Is it a health issue? Is it a thyroid issue? He's not asking all those questions. He's just looking at the outer appearance. And then if he's attracted to the outer appearance, then he want to get to know, where's the mind at? So he's being a visual creature, and he's looking at the visuals, because what he believes, and what a lot of people believe, is how their body is presented determines how they love and respect themselves. And I'm not a medical doctor, so I don't know and a man doesn't know either, unless he's a medical doctor. So he doesn't know if there's a medical reason that 90% of people built a certain way or a certain size is dealing with. He doesn't know that. This woman over here that he's looking at, this woman could be suffering with extreme insecurity, bulimic, anorexia, just eating disorder. She could be going through a whole lot, from being shamed by her dad, abandoned, or what have you. And that could speak to her size. It could speak to her lack of confidence. It could speak to her quiet demeanor. This other woman, who may be built totally different, could have her different set of situations. A man is looking on the outside. Then he coming and he trying to know what's on the inside. So I've seen women who were built like this end up like this, because this woman met a man who was built like this, and then he got her in the gym, and because of her confidence and her work ethic, she ended up shedding all of her weight and becoming a whole new person. Then you'll see women who were like this end up like this. And it's because of her life took her through a place of complacency, of stress or doubt, had kids, and did not have the love and the motivation to say, hey, keep loving yourself, keep working out, keep going hard, and have an accountability partner. So see, people, when a man is choosing, he's taking all that into consideration. Like, men literally will say, okay, well, she like this now. I want to have 2 children. What is she going to look like after 2 children? So now he want to look at her genetics. Now he want to see what her mom is built like, what her dad is built like. I remember a guy seeing my dad, and my dad, his family, a potbelly running their family. And a guy seen my dad. He's like, hey, that's your daddy? I was like, yeah. He was like, boy, you better watch out for your genetics. That's your genetics. Boy, you better watch out. And he was joking about it, making a joke about it. But, my dad came to a place of complacency to where he just started chilling. He loved chicken wings and, put on him a little bit of weight. He was built like me at my age or in his 30s. He was built just like me. So I'm mindful of that. I got me a Peloton up there. I got the mirror that's on the wall that you do workouts with the mirror. I got 2 treadmills. You hear me? I'm mindful of my body. This is what a man is thinking about. And see, a lot of times women don't even think about that. I saw a lady, she was built like this. She done had 3 or 4 kids, and she's still built like this. So it could be her genetics. See, a man could be looking to date women, and a man might have a woman in each category. And this could be body type, height, and race or complexion. So a man literally dates like that. He would date Asian, Hispanic, African American, Caucasian. He will go through the list. Biracial. He will date each one that he can have access to, and he reading them, he judging them, and it's stereotypes with each one. Sometimes the stereotypes are true, sometimes they're fake, but he trying to see for himself, and that's how he's choosing. And it's based on, and see, this is the thing, this is how men get duped. This is how a lot of men get duped. So naturally, black is not beautiful to other races because of society putting darker skin at the bottom of the totem pole. But like, listen to this. Like, let's say you see a black guy, and just based on aesthetics, just his features, he may be listed as looks challenged. I might have to go over hour on this one now. He may be listed as looks challenged, but he's a black guy, and then he becomes a millionaire. And then look at his wife or his girlfriend or his baby mama. Look at them. And now, based on how this man looked, remove his money and remove his fame, would his wife, would her look like his look without money, without fame? And a lot of time we want to be all deep and sentimental and romantic, and yes, of course, love is blind. Like, of course, like, this person can love that person because it's not about looks. It's about the heart. Man, go on somewhere. Go sit down somewhere with that nonsense. No, it's about looks first. That's the first component. It's a physical attraction. So that's how some men end up playing themselves. Because this woman over here, that he might not like her shape. I don't know if whichever way she built, like this or like this. He might not like her shape. And so he judging her. And then he like this shape over here. But what he don't realize is he built like this. So what he don't realize is this woman over here naturally do not want you. This woman like this, she want a man like this. But the man like this that she been meeting ain't got no fettuccine, no moolah. But this over here, this man over here, he got that fettuccine. So now she say, okay, we can make this happen. Okay, thank you. And so now he end up playing himself, because as you judge, so you will be judged. He judging women by their body type. Guess what? Women judging him by his body type. So it gotta be something else with him that she want. Is it your money? Is it your skin color? Because some women will grow up and they'll say they focus on procreation. They focus on reproduction. So they thinking about, all I want is beautiful kids. So that woman, she might be this color. She might be this color. But she know if she could get a man this color, that's gonna give her a child this color. All this stuff just sitting on my desk. These ain't props, okay? This is not props. This stuff just sitting on my desk. And I'm just incorporating this message. This is how I flow in my message, off top of the dome. But she's so focused on procreation, which I don't really know what that means. So we're gonna call it reproduction. That she just want beautiful children. But she know if she get a man that's this color, then their child gonna be this color. And she might not like that. Cause as she looking around and she see where the world going, she seeing the racially ambiguous. She see who in the dunk contest. And she like, well, this guy, daddy look like this and mama look like this and he flying high. So she say, listen, I need me this here. No, she said, I need me this here because I want to make this. And so guess what? She go and she get him. And she want him for his melanin to produce this right here. Because this is beautiful to her now. Because it's what all the actresses are. It's what the models are. It's what some of the top high-flying NBA and NFL players are. They this right here. So she picking for the same reason. He is the same color as 12:01 a.m. Where he grew up, he was made to feel ugly and insecure, looks challenged. So he starts to despise his skin color. So he think this skin color is better, is superior. So he wants her too, because he want a child like this, because he feels if his child is this color, the child won't be treated how he was treated at this color. You see what I'm saying? All of this go into it. Now, typically people who this color want to deny all of this. They want to deny all of it. Sometimes people who this color can be honest, can be real, and say, you know what? I believe that's true. Now, people who this color and this color know for a fact, because you done lived through it, that is real. Okay? So this is the process of selection. This is what we going through. This is what we dealing with. And you have to realize that all you could do is bring your best to the table and have an honest and genuine heart, and know that this person could be honest or they may not be honest. Hey, I ain't got too much more, so I'm going to stay under my hour. God bless you.